the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, hit that like, comment, and share button.
So at any given time, I'm responsible for about $80 billion.
$80 billion.
Right.
$80 billion man here. Look at this, guys. He's here. Now, the first thing I wanted to get into, you was just touching on this, and I saw this. What is the Colorado Unclaimed Property Program? I mean, it sounds simple, like, okay, it's unclaimed property. Okay, what does that mean, dude? I don't think it's my property, but how do I get, so what is the Colorado Unclaimed Property Program?
Well, a lot of people ask that. And, let me tell you a personal story that'll give you an idea. My mom was an accountant.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, this was before technology, before we had the web, they used to print in the Denver Post all the people that had unclaimed
I don't know,
property.
Dave, you kind of dating yourself. You're like, well, this is before the web. It was like before.
Oh, I could take you back further than that.
Before these computer things, we used to. But okay, so your mom was an accountant. They used to print it in the local paper.
In the Denver Post, they used to print all the names and pages and pages and pages of people's names. So one day I'm looking in there, and my mom's name is in there 3 times. I said, "Mom, you have unclaimed property," and she was offended. She's an accountant.
What do you mean?
I keep track of my money. I didn't lose any money, but it wasn't that. Here's what happened. My grandmother took out 3 life insurance policies and didn't tell anybody she'd bought these. So nobody in the family knew.
Wow.
And unfortunately, she wrote the wrong address into the policy, so the checks never arrived. So we weren't looking for the checks. The checks didn't come. And eventually they ended up in the Colorado Treasury because they were unclaimed. And so we went through a process to claim that. It was about $3,500 between the 3 life insurance policies. So not a lot of money, but certainly you're not going to turn it away.
Yeah.
And so this is the kind of, it's not that people are lazy or forgetful. A lot of times it's just money they didn't even know was out there. And it's also safety deposit box contents. So somebody passes away, they've got a safety deposit box. The bank doesn't know who their heirs are. And so eventually we get the contents of the safety deposit boxes. So we have like a 6.5 carat canary diamond ring. And we have gold coins and baseball card collections. And
let me ask you this question. What do you, when you collect these things, how big is the value on this unclaimed property?
Well, there's over $1 billion in value. Most of it's money. Most of it's money. We have stocks.
Wait, let me get this right. So Colorado has over $1 billion in unclaimed property that they're looking for people to claim.
Absolutely. And we've made it very easy. The website address, not so easy, colorado.findyourunclaimedproperty.com. I didn't dream that up. That's not the one I would have picked, but that's what it is, colorado.findyourunclaimedproperty.com. But you can actually go very easily now and go to the website. If you're on a laptop or a computer, the page will have a picture of me on there. So you have some surety that you're at the right spot. And then you can just search by address, name, address, zip code, something like that. And you'll get all kinds of, if you have an unclaimed property, it'll come back. Sometimes very common name like mine is pretty common. Yours might not be.
Yeah, I know, right?
So, but you might get some claims that are really not yours or other people's because they have the same name. But you can go through and kind of decide which ones you think are yours and put in a claim. Now, we're very diligent about checking.
Hold on, wait now, Dave. It's a search box. Right. You go in and just put it in a search box like, hey, let me check my mom's name, dad's name.
You can do that. You could check your family members' names. You could check people you work with. You could check
people you work. So it's public record, like anybody.
Yeah, it's totally public. Yeah, but only the person who is the real owner can claim and receive the property. Receive the
property. Okay.
Yeah.
What if that person is deceased? Do you have to?
Well, we get this a lot. Yeah, like with the safety deposit boxes, you get this. And like with my grandmother, right? Same kind of thing. So what we do is we go through a process. If you can prove that you are the rightful owner, for example, if you're the court-appointed personal representative or you're named in a will, then if the person's deceased, you're the person that would be receiving that property. But the staff is going to go through a process. So just because you put in a claim, you may be asked to submit additional information. And, the property has to be what we call dormant for 5 years. So
dormant, what is dormant?
That means no one's laid claim to it. It's been inactive for 5 years. So They don't just, send out one notice and then 30 days later ship it out. It's had to sit there for a while.
Or you put on the unclaimed properties list.
Right.
So let's say if a bank has a safe deposit box or old savings account, something, they contact the treasurer and say, hey, we want to get this off our books, get rid of this.
Mm-hmm.
And they pass on to you, give you all the information. You say it has to sit with you for 5 years?
No, it sits with them for 5 years.
Before they even come to the treasurer.
Right. It sits with us forever.
So it's never an expiration date.
Exactly right.
Where do you store all this stuff?
We've got a big safe in the Capitol. But really, honestly, that's just a safety deposit box. The money is, it's
digital,
not sitting in there. Yeah.
So I was thinking, like, that sounds like a lot of stuff. Like, where's this big, hey, we got a baseball bat, or it's some things that you turn down, like, hey, come on,
Well, no, it's safety deposit box stuff.
Okay,
so it's not like cars and houses,
guns,
well, we do have some guns. We actually have the world's smallest gun.
The world's smallest gun. Somebody passed it down.
Well, it was in a safety deposit box.
Got it. Okay.
Interestingly, we thought it was a charm from a charm bracelet.
Oh.
And then we saw a YouTube video of somebody actually shooting a similar gun through a Coke can. And we went, oh,
that might be
that's actually a working firearm.
Wow.
So we do have some of that. But, most of it's just interesting. Some of it doesn't have a lot of monetary value, but war medals would be very important to some family. And so we auction off things that are, more common because we run out of room in the safe. But anything that we think has real family value, we'll hold on to and really work to try to get back to the family. So.
Okay. What else you want to say about that program before we go to the next piece?
Well, 2 years ago, I was president of all unclaimed property programs around the world. So we have provinces in Canada and programs as far away as Kenya. So you can go to a much simpler website, missingmoney.com, and you can go click into the map. And for example, maybe you left something behind in Hawaii, Prince, and you want to go check there. You can go to the map, click in, and do a similar search with their program there. And so really encourage people. This is people's money. This is not tax revenue. This is people's belongings, and we encourage them to go and check it out. It's also businesses, it's nonprofits. The Humane Society of Pikes Peak Region discovered they had $98,000 they weren't aware was sitting in unclaimed property, and they went and claimed it.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So now we learned something new today.
Yeah, churches, school districts.
Now, can if something just go unclaimed for a long time, can it be bidded away?
Well, we do.
Auctions. Like, do you just do auctions?
We do auctions if it's low level stuff. We can't.
What is considered low level?
I don't know what the threshold is. Like I said, I think usually something that we can look at and say this has real value to a family. It like I said, the war medals we're not going to auction off. We're going to hold on to those because if we can find the family, if we can't, if there's no way to identify, we may give them to the veterans groups to display or something yeah. But if we think there's some family value to that, we're not going to auction that off. But the safe is full, so occasionally we have to do eBay auctions. We're even talking about doing a kind of a large estate auction to clear out some.
How often do you do that?
Not real often.
How do you publicize it?
COVID kind of slowed us down. But we can get you information on when the little eBay auctions are happening.
Sure. Okay, well, yeah, keep in contact to see auctions that goes on from the treasury.
But even better than that, we should just get people to go claim it.
Claim it, yeah. Just look it up.
I don't want to auction off. Just go claim it.
Yeah, so look it up. Okay, so we'll definitely tell everybody out there, go out there, search your grandmother's name. I got to do that myself,
Yeah.
Check. Is there a national database?
Well, that's this missingmoney.com.
Okay, Missing Money. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, missingmoney.com. Go check that out and put your name and family member's name in that too.